Guys, and welcome back to Let's Play Xenogears. Last time we defeated the final boss, and this time the prequel and the sequel and the not quite sequel because it's from a different company and they can't use any of the same ideas, kinda, sorta, but they do. Anyway, this is Let's Play Xenosaga Episode 1. And as much as I tried, I can't pronounce German things, so we're not even going to go there. Anyway, this LP will be somewhat different from previous ones in the fact that because there's kind of a previous installment to work off of, this technically isn't part of the Xenogears world, but because it's created by the same people that made Xenogears after they left Square, they decided they were going to retell part of the story. This part of the story kind of references episode 1 from the Xenogears timeline. Now, before I say any more about the Xenogears timeline, this LP will contain spoilers from Xenogears. If that is a problem for you, I would check out now. Hopefully that's not. There's plenty of good LPs out there if you want to check those out or play the game for yourself. It's definitely worthwhile doing so. But just so you know, I will be talking about that. On the note of spoilers, I would like to keep spoilers out of the comments about this game. I'm making this kind of aware that there will be talk about Xenogears spoilers. That's all right. If you want to compare, say, something that's already happened up to whatever point it is in the Xenosaga LP to something that happened in Xenogears, by all means. But don't compare, like, the final boss from Xenogears to the final boss from this game or anyone else for that matter. Just kind of keep it kind of realistic. Don't be talking about, final bosses in episode 1 or 2 or something like that. Anyway, this was originally meant to be, as far as I remember, 5 or 6 different games, the Xenosaga trilogy. And that's all they ended up with due to mismanagement and what have you. But yeah, so there are 3 Xenosaga games, episode 1, 2, and 3. I plan on playing all of them. I have test run completely this one. I'm most of the way done Xenosaga 2. And once I am done that, I will move on to Xenosaga 3. So hopefully those all go well. They're all supposed to work on the emulators. So anyway, this game, like Xenogears, is very plot heavy. Luckily, we've finally gotten to the age of voice acting, so no more huge scrolls of text to read. Now we get to watch the movies. And the dialogue is pretty good in this game, as are the voice actors, so no worries there. Now, each of the Xenosaga games kind of changes a little bit over time. And that's probably enough time on the loading screen. Let's start a new game. But yeah, there's changes from game to game in terms of tone and atmosphere, music, the composers. Just kind of note the words on the screen there. And, they have different composers, so the music sounds different. The battle systems are different each time. They have different character skins. The graphics are different. Obviously, as time goes by, they improve. Let's see what else. A couple other things. Yeah, unlike Xenogears, or, well, like Xenogears, there are a butt ton of references throughout the Xenosaga games. Unlike it, though, there's actually a nice little way that they've gone through it so that they've included a dictionary, at least in games 1 and 3. In number 2, I don't think so.
When you dig.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Masuda!
What is it? Did you find something?
Yeah, we followed the corridor from the lakeside. It matches the location described in the research paper.
Good. Show us where it is.
Oh, I thought they were going to talk. It looks like he is talking there. But
it's different from the others.
I knew it!
As you noted earlier on the screen there, this is 20XX or whatever. So we're assuming kind of our timeline-ish, maybe in our future a little bit. Well, that's interesting. We've seen something like that in Xenogears. Not exactly, but... Oh. Where did you get that? Now, I don't remember this, what he has in his hand being explained at any point in the first two games. I don't remember 100% of what happens story-wise in this game because the test run I did was like a year and a half ago, but anyway. Now, the composer for this game was Yasunori Mitsuda, known for Xenogears, Chrono Trigger, Chrono Cross, and many other things. He's also worked on Shadow Hearts and such. But he got to pair up with the London Symphony Orchestra, as far as I remember. Anyway, it's a symphony orchestra, to be sure. And it shows. The emotion in most of the music in this game is incredible. In the second and third game, the music is composed by different people, and it doesn't have the orchestrated feel. Not to say that it's worse, it just has a different feel, and it's interesting to play through the different games and get the different vibes just from the music itself, let alone the story and characters and whatever. I'm not sure if this particular song is on the soundtrack. Then again, I don't listen to the soundtrack for this game very often. While the music is extremely well composed and fits the scene and the game very, very well, the individual tracks don't really stand... A few do, but most of them don't really stand on their own. And that makes it suit the situation very well. Now, that might look kinda like well, it doesn't really. It's supposed to kind of represent a couple different things from Xenogears. The save points, for one, as well as another thing, and we'll learn what that other thing was shortly. I'm not going to mention it directly right now, just because we don't know what this is called in this game. Anyway, it's good to be back and recording again. I haven't been able to do this in some time, so yay. There you go. Here's your plot 4,000 years later. And yes, they went over that way too quickly. But yeah, on Black Friday, I was able to secure myself a Blue Yeti USB microphone. However, I've been having a lot of problems trying to get... basically, well, let's read some of this. They're just going to jump over it. We see KOS MOS and Shion Uzuki. And they're going to start talking now, so I won't be able to continue. But basically, I've been having echo issues with my mic, and I haven't been able to get it set up so that it works the way I want it to yet. So I'm still recording on my headset mic for now because it sounds more full and it doesn't have this echo. The only way I can get rid of the echo is to put it right next to my face, but that's very uncomfortable and I can't kind of move around like I tend to when I am recording. So if anybody has any ideas on how to remove the echo or anything like that, I am open to suggestions. I have a foam windscreen and a mounting the pop filter on order. They just haven't arrived yet. But I've tried things like putting like a beanie over top of the microphone to dull some of the echo, and it helps, but not enough. And no matter how close I get it on my desk, it doesn't sit close enough to where my face is to pick up the audio
Commencing
clearly
startup
enough.
Experiment. Open up an interconnection.
Anyway, any help anyone
Roger.
has would be welcome.
Opening interconnection.
For
Connecting
now,
with dummy protocol.
let's play the game.
A-line protocol zone secured.
Opening cage partition. 60 seconds to release. Beginning countdown. 57, 56, 55, 54, 53, 52, 51.
Now that X, of course, should look kind of familiar. They've used that one, or at least something kind of similar to that one on Xenogears. It doesn't look exactly like it for sure, but it's kind of like weird and different. Unlike the lettering they used for this game, which is kind of plain and boring. And somebody just disappeared while touching
All
that
monitors
thing.
clear.
3, 2, 1. Partition open. Proceeding with KOS MOS body formation.
Of course, it's pronounced Cosmos in this game, but it basically spells out Cosmos.
Body formation complete.
I don't-
Commencing Penfield mapping.
I like the Penfield map, of course. Dr. Penfield was like a neurosurgeon or something like that.
Proceeding with
I don't know.
Encephalon construction.
I know I heard the name before in reference to
Mapping
that.
percentage at 76, 77, 78.
Encephalon construction complete.
What's
There's
an
noise appearing in the
encephalon?
temporal lobe.
What's the problem?
It's on the left side of the temporal lobe. I'm showing slight stimulation of the synapses in section 818. It's within permissible bounds, though. Do you want to abort?
No. Let's keep going. Just stick to the menu. I'll try for a direct approach. Back me up.
Roger. Launching Nataraja connection system.
Nataraja, like I was saying, there is a dictionary that they ship with this game. It's kind of like the one that we had in Star Ocean Till the End of Time, but I'm actually going to look at it this time because it has way more information and it's actually a lot more interesting, at least to me. Some people might find the one for Star Ocean more interesting. I'm not sure. What do we have here? Dark ships. And it has that little symbol of kind of like a, sort of like a yin-yang. Ye shall be as
Password
gods as the
accepted.
password.
Commencing
I
Nataraja
love the
boot
reference,
sequence.
just because I know what happens later in the game, but... Anyway, so yeah, the plot for this game kind of expands over all three games, and it's one continuous plot featuring some of the same characters. I'm not going to say, you know, we keep these ones or that ones because we haven't met any of them yet, but I just want to kind of, you know, it's a continuous story. It's not like, oh, different games in this universe.
There seems to be a problem with the visual field connection.
Ah, I see a small break in the MT field, route K12. It looks like the bi-directional link in the V4 field is lagged too. Hold on a minute.
Don't
I'll
worry,
fix it now.
they're not going to have this
How's
much
it now, Pete?
confusion throughout the whole game. You
Okay.
can't actually take off
Looks
the
good.
subtitles as far as I remember
Let's
from
keep
this
going.
game either.
Roger.
And I'll try.
Proceeding with KOS MOS host separation.
Try not to talk too much during the cutscenes, especially when they're talking. Obviously, when they're not talking, I won't shut up because I'm trying to actually get my point across. But anyway, let's meet
Morning, Cosmos.
KOS MOS.
How do you feel?
Good morning, Xian. All systems are normal.
Well, how about introducing yourself?
I am an anti-gnosis humanoid fighting system, serial number 0000000001.
Well,
Development name KPX. Abbreviated name KOS MOS. As I am currently configured for simulated battle, my output is limited to 22% of its normal capacity. My estimated weapon
Well.
specifications are...
All right, that's good enough. Thanks.
You are welcome.
All I have for you today are the usual startup tests. Sorry to wake you up just for that. You'll have to go back to sleep once everything's checked out.
she
see.
seems like the robot
feel
should
sad
be
or
sad about
anything?
that.
A predetermined set of emotions has been hard-coded into my emotion module to better facilitate interactions with humans. In order to better facilitate a relationship with you, Chief Engineer Shion Uzuki of the KOS MOS Project, Vector Industries' first R&D division, I will emit an expression such as
Exposition.
sadness only when that response is deemed necessary. However, the emotion module of my program has determined that this is not necessary at this time.
I guess you're right. I, of all people, should know that.
You should.
Your understanding is appreciated.
Now,
But you know, Cosmos, I've got mixed feelings about all this.
I misspoke. She's not a robot, but
Of course,
we'll
I'm
learn
happy
more
that you're awake,
briefly here.
but the fact that you'll go back to sleep makes me a bit sad. On the other hand, the next time you wake up, it may be a time of much bloodshed. So deep down inside, I hope that day never comes.
Enjoy the voice acting of this game. It's really well done.
Understand?
The characters really do
The
suit
algorithms I
their
have been
characters.
programmed with do not support the comprehension of illogical human thought.
Well, I hope you'll be able to understand someday.
I will do my best.
All right, Cosmos, shall we get started? Alan, let's pick up from process 277 where we last left off.
Roger. Placing target drones in the encephalon. The drones are set to random movement and enemy ambush. How about a test run before the mission, Chief?
Sure, let's do that. Did you get that, Cosmos?
Affirmative.
Okay, so the reason why I said to enjoy the voice acting is because they decided that, I guess, these voice actors, or some of them anyway, were too expensive for the sequel, and I think they changed a lot of them in episode 2. Some of them come back in episode 3, but some of them don't. Some of them that they, from this game, they go to the second game and they're different, and the ones in the second game are great voice actors. They just don't play the role as well as the ones who already did it. So there's a bit of give and take there. Basically, I think this is probably the best voice acted of all 3 of the games, but again, that's personal preference. Anyway, now we can get into the tutorial. There is a lot to get into in the tutorial, so I'm gonna skip the tutorial for now, and we'll just call it an episode. I'm gonna go and record the tutorial now because I have nothing better to do. It's 6:30 at night. What else would I do? Anyway, that's all for Let's Play Xenosaga Episode 1. Next time we go over the tutorial and kind of figure out what's going on. It's a battle tutorial more than anything else, and it's kind of important to understand because it's a very intense, well, not necessarily intense, but it's a very involved battle system. There's a lot to learn, and so I want to be able to go over the whole thing in one episode as opposed to, part of it now and part of it later. So anyway, that's all for this one, and I'll see you guys next time.